to review part 2. Okay, so we left off with number 10. This one is a tricky one because we got to get y by itself and it's negative. So when we subtract 2x from both sides, we are left with negative y is greater than or equal to negative 2x plus 2. Divide through by negative 1 to make this just a y, and that is going to give us y is less than or equal to, we got to switch the sign around, 2x minus 2. So I'm going to go down here to negative 2, and I'm going to go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. Solid line because it's also equal. Okay, this is a greater than. 0 minus 0, is that bigger than 2? Nope. Shade over here. Okay. Other one, same kind of deal. I'm going to subtract x and subtract x, and I get negative 2y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. Divide everything by negative 2. Switch your sign around. Less than or equal to 1/2 x minus 1. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Again, dot or solid line because it's equal to. That was awful. Does 0, 0 work? Is 0 minus 0 bigger than 2? Is 0 bigger than 2? Nope. Don't shade where 0 is. Shade away from 0. So there's my solution right in here, the double shaded area. Okay. Emily is on a trip, and she's going to buy turquoise stones for at least 4 of her friends. There's your inequality. At least 4 of her friends. $4 stones, $6 stones. No more than $30 can she spend. So it looks like X's are your $4 stones and Y's are your $6 stones. So together, she needs that to be more than 4 that she's purchasing. And then we have our $4 stones, our $6 stones, and we only have $30 to spend. So to graph, remember we have to graph these because systems of inequalities, it's where the shaded part overlaps. So I have to get this into y equals. So I'm going to subtract x from both sides. Down 1 over 1, down 1 to the right, to the right, to the right. And we are shading greater. We are shading up here. 0, 0 wouldn't be shaded because if you buy 0 stones, then you don't have enough for all your friends. Okay, gonna get y by itself by subtracting 4x. Whoa. Divide by 6. Y is less than or equal to negative 2/3 x plus 5. So down 2 to the right 3, down 2 to the right 3. No, they are not parallel. And we only have $30 to spend. So less, shading down. So there's our double shaded area right here. That represents what we can buy. It says list 3 possible solutions. So I think in class we talked about 3, 3. We checked that. That was right here on the edge. That definitely works, but that costs exactly $30. 4 times 3 is 12, 6 times 3 is 18. So that's okay, it's less than or equal to. We said 4, 1 works, 4, 0 even works, 0, 4 works. See if 1, 5 works. Or no, that's 1, 4. I don't know. Let's see, 1, 4. What's definitely enough. 4 times 1 is 4. 6 times 4 is 24. Yeah, that works. 0, 4 works. 4, 0 works. I think 2, 3 and 3, 2 both work. 3, 2 is right there, and 2, 3 is right there. So yes. Okay. 12. What I would do here is I would clear your decimals. So I'd multiply everything by 10. moving everything one space over. I do the same thing here. And then getting x by itself to do substitution here is probably not a good idea, because to get x by itself, you're going to create fractions and decimals. So I'm just going to do elimination. So I got to get it lined up. I got to bring this 36y over to the other side. So 10x minus 36y equals 7 to get it into standard. And then I can eliminate my x's by multiplying the top one by negative 2. So that becomes negative 20x plus 72y equals negative 14. And then I'll add these vertically. So these are going to cancel out. This gives me 74y is equal to 370. Bust out my handy-dandy calculator, and y is actually 5. Plugging that back in, x is equal to 3.6 times 5 plus 0.7, and that gives me 18.7. Not always pretty answers, but you can always check them. So this is an ordered pair, remember. This is a point on the graph where these cross. I'm going to do the same thing on here. I'm going to multiply all of these by 10. So 53x minus 40y equals 435. Oh, this is ugly. I think I'm gonna substitute. I'm gonna get this x by itself. So x equals negative 7y plus 78. And then I'll substitute. 53, negative 7y plus 78 minus 40y equals 435. There's really no way to do this nicely because these numbers are huge. Okay, calculator time. 53 times negative 7 is negative 371. And then 53 times 78, of course, we all know that one, 4,134. Just kidding. Minus 40y equals 435. So distributing that 53. When you combine like terms, you get negative 411y is equal to negative 3,699. Divide both sides by negative 411, and you actually get that y is 9. Actually come out pretty nice. Plugging this back in, we have y is 9, so that's going to go right here. So x plus 7 times 9 equals 78. X plus 63 equals 78. And x is 15. So again, that is an ordered pair. That is the point on the graph where these things cross, where these lines cross, where they intersect. Okay, a couple more. A library contains 2,000 books. There's 3 times as many nonfictions as fictions. So 3 times as many nonfictions as fictions. So we have nonfictions and we have fiction. Three times as many nonfiction as fiction. Let's see if this works. Now think about this. Equal sign. It means they're the same. Think about a seesaw. If you have 3 ends that would weigh the same as an F, which ones would weigh the most? 3 of them together have to equal this. So the ends are actually the smaller one, and there should be 3 times as many nonfiction as fiction. So there should be more nonfiction. So we have this backwards, and it should be 3F equals N. 3 times as many nonfictions as fictions. Okay, together, 2,000 books. So substituting in for N, 3F equals N, so where you see N, you can shove a 3F in there. So 4F equals 2,000, and F equals 500. So if there are 500 fiction, there are 3 times as many nonfiction, which would be 1,500. Okay? Ryan Ryan's brother Joel weighs 30% more than Ryan. Together they weigh 276. That part's easy. Ryan plus Joel is 276. Now, Joel weighs 30% more than Ryan. So Ryan plus 30% of Ryan equals Joel. Joel weighs more. More means adding. Can't just take 30% of Ryan, that would be less, and Joel needs to weigh more. So it's Ryan plus 30% of Ryan is Joel. Again, substitute, we know what Joel is equal to. So we have Ryan plus, now we're going to put Joel. And Joel is a Ryan plus a 30% of a Ryan, and that actually equals 2.3 Ryans is 276. And if you divide 276 by 2.3, you get that Ryan's 120. So plugging that back in, 120 plus 0.30 times 120 makes Joel 156. And you can check that 156 plus 120 is 276. And then 120 plus 0.30, 120 is also 156. So it works in both. So Ryan, 120 pounds. Doesn't ask for that, it asks for Joel. Joel is 156 pounds. Okay, last two, writing the system. So we see a horizontal line right here, and that will be a Y. It's at 6, I believe, and it looks like it's shading less than. For this next one, I have a y-intercept of 3. Looks like I have a slope of 1. And it also looks, or this looks like I'm shading greater than, because I'm going up here. You can always check. 0, 0 is not in the double shaded area. So is 0 greater than 0 plus 3? Nope. It's less than 6, but it's got to work in both. Okay, last one. To get these parallel lines to actually have a solution, I'm going to need one to be shading up and the other one to be shading down. And that's how I'm going to get that overlap. So I need the top equation to shade down, but the bottom equation to shade up, and then I'll get them to overlap. So they both have an equal slope of -1. One has an intercept of 1, and one has an intercept of 2. So I need the bottom one to be shading greater, and I need the top one to be shading less. And that's it. Happy studying!